Breathe out. Take a big deep breath in. And hold at the top with me here today, enjoying these birds, the sheep, the sun, the mountains in the background, the greenery. Welcome in, fam. Much love. Trav here. As in today's video, we're going to talk about my strategy for survival and success and to thrive in this post-industrial information age, age of COVID, age of massive change, age of technology, destabilization, transitionary time. Not the apocalypse, not the doomsday, not the end of the world, but possibly the end of things as we know it and the start of new things. So, welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. If that sounds interesting to you, then make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Let's go ahead and check on the sheep over here. So before we dive into what I'm doing, and then we're going to turn and look at what you could do, what you could focus on, I just want to point to a couple things that I've talked about in recent videos. One of them is the water getting shut off on farms over in Maui and in farms in the California Central Valley, which is pretty big deal. I want to point to the rising price of beef, poultry, and pork. And I want to point to the Saudis signing a military arms pact with Russia. And I want to point to the low testosterone and low birth rates in the West. And I want to point to the vaccine mandates. And I want to point to social media, Twitter and Facebook banning the sitting president, Donald Trump. And I want to point to shit's crazy. Things are absolutely batshit crazy. I want to point to the pandemic. And if you're like, man, what do I do? You know, and so many people, if you're one of those people, you're just numbing out, smoking weed, playing video games. We have porn, we have VR, we've got AR, we've got vapes, you don't even have to leave your house to smoke. You've got caffeine, you got social media, you've got any kind of quick dopamine burst. It's hard. There's obstacles at every path. So there's some of the issues. I'm going to talk to you a bit candidly about sort of my plans, and we can extrapolate some plans for you. The thing is, like, what's true of me is not necessarily true of you. I'll give you some ideas. Yeah, just so you can see my thinking and get some gears turning in your head. And it's not to scare you, as always, like, calm down, take a deep breath, relax, enjoy the outside, the nature with me, and let's talk about how to succeed in the information age here. So, um, and as always, new information can and should and will change your opinion. You can't get too stuck in your convictions. So I'm open to new things will happen that will sort of change my mind. So the first thing is I'm going to just go over a number of things. Like, what is to succeed and to thrive? Well, one of the things is to have family. It's not just to be okay in yourself, but to have a couple kids, more kids, have a dog, have some land, get some sunshine. It's lifestyle, get some sunshine, be outside, work with animals, just enjoy nature, and have a good life, have some work that's meaningful, help people, make an impact, have a chance to challenge yourself, challenge your skills, to read, to study, to grow more. These are some of the things about what success is. So, what success needs is money. So a lot of the concern and strategy for the next age is money, because the lifestyle, and it depends, right? In my sense, I feel like the lifestyle is pretty set. I'm getting the sunshine. I'm very healthy. I'm getting the surfing. I'm getting the I've got a lot of the social setup. I've got a partner. I'm maneuvering into position in this next period of my life. Nalani, my dog's over there. Let's go check on the dog. You want to go check on the dog with me? So, yeah, I mean, what's a goal for me might not be a goal for you, right? For you, it might be get out of the city, get to the country, get into the sun, get into the farm, start growing your own food, start raising your own animals for slaughter. These are things I'm already doing, right? These are things that I'm already doing. So it's not a goal for me. It might be a goal for you. I will say something that's interesting for me though is how it's changed is it's not important. I don't own my land here. It's not important for me to own my land, and the more I've learned so far, the less important it has become. I am obviously, for investment perspectives, I can't be negative about real estate. It's a good way to store your money. Personally, it's not currently not an important part of my plan. Reasons being that a couple reasons. I'm going to talk about possible better options, but my parents fled from China, from communist China. Sorry, my dad and his grandparents fled from communist China. They had to leave everything behind. This is something that happens. It's happened to my dad. It happens to a lot of people. It's happening to people in Afghanistan. It could happen here in Hawaii. Why does that happen? Because of mega political, social, economic, climate, all kinds of unpredictable stuff can force immigration. And when you're forced to immigrate, your land it's a liquid, it's inflexible, it's hard to sell. Can be seized, it can be taken. So for me, yeah, I want to live on the land and work on the land here in Hawaii. I'm doing it. But in the next 30 years, 40, 50 years, am I confident that this is the place it's going to be? That there's not going to be a World War III with China? They're going to invade Taiwan and then Hawaii is going to be a pawn? Or that there's going to be some big environmental issue, supply chain issue, Hawaii's not getting the food that it needs, or that there's some sort of climate issue here, or the Hawaii government keeps raising the taxes, that they're going to raise the taxes on property to the point where it's sort of uneconomical to hold your own land compared to renting your own land. So that's something that's sort of interesting about me for you to think about, where yeah, living on the land in Hawaii is something I'm already doing and continues to be part of the plan. But owning a lot of property is not necessarily a goal for me because of I feel the risk of having to emigrate in the next 50 years in my life because of the amount of change that could happen. Could be right or wrong, that opinion could change. So how to store my money instead? Well, I've talked about it a lot before, but I like cryptocurrencies. I especially like Bitcoin. Trying to not be too much of a maximalist, but I like Bitcoin. I like that it's encrypted property that exists in cyberspace. So the government can't just seize it from you. It can't be taken. If you are forced to emigrate, you can take it with you. You can keep it in a seed in your head. You can lose it in a boating accident. Nobody needs to know that you have it. And it's a lot more portable than land. So as far as wealth saving, personally, I like saving Bitcoin and renting my land. That's me personally. And again, that opinion may change, but that is the current strategy that I have. I have the money, I could buy land, don't want to. I would rather save it in Bitcoin. I have land access, right? Access to grow my own food already. So that's, again, I could come back to that and change that. Now, that's about the saving of the money. We've already talked about lifestyle. We talked about um, yeah, we're going to talk about the making money in a moment. So we talk about lifestyle. Having family to me is becoming more important than community and friends, um, because family is part of the goal of the victory condition of life, of success as a man, as an organism that's trying to not just procreate but affect the genetic stock of the descending down into the population by being not just making kids but putting them in a great position and raising them to make a big impact. Um, Problem with community is the same problem with, community definitely matters, but the problem with community is the same problem with property, is that if shit hits the fan, if that, for example, there's a community in the Big Island. I made a video you might have seen over there, like pros and cons of like Oahu versus Big Island. That community is no more. It got destroyed by a lava flow, actually, believe it or not. Real thing that happened. The lava flow destroyed the property and the community dispersed. And the community broke up, but the families within the community, for the most part, stayed together, right? So having a family unit or a couple close friends is probably more value than having some sort of extended community, because, again, like shit scatters, community breaks apart. Having a nuclear family seems pretty valuable to me. Okay, now let's go into the money making. So money making is very interesting now because things have changed so much, and they've changed in a way that the world's more global, it's more competitive. It used to be not too long ago, if you're in the West, that you just enjoy being richer than the developing world, basically just because of barriers, global barriers. Now those global barriers are down. My YouTube photo editor is from the Philippines, and you got to compete with him now, and he's okay making less money, so you got to be okay making less money. And it's not less money to him, it's decent money to him. So things have become more global, things have become more information based. I'm a big fan of making money online, and it's not just because let's go check on the dog again. It's not just because, make money online, like it's convenient, you're gonna save money, save time, or you make a lot of money. No, like, I'm a fan. Me personally, it's like a lot of my work online is trading hours for time, or hours for money, time for money. So it's not too different than having a job. For me personally, you can build a business, and I've had a business that was sort of scalable before. But the beautiful thing about working online is that you can take it with you. Again, when shit hits the fan, you can move. You can take it with you, right? And I'm not like being a totally rootless person, but just to understand that you may need to become unrooted depending on what's going to happen in your life. So it's good to be prepared for both. Oops, here we go. Yeah, it's not like being a totally unrooted person. It's nice to have community too, but it's important to be able to just pick up and move when the time comes and you need to move. By the way, if you're a long follower, you've been following for a long time, comment down below. What do you think of the new setup I have? I finally got a little gimbal selfie stick. I think it works great. I'm starting to take my stuff more seriously, as I've been talking about. I'm going to be working more part-time on the farm. So for the first time you can work from anywhere, and that allows you, if you want to change tax jurisdictions. You could move to a lower tax zone if you wanted to, but also just to be prepared for shit hitting the fan. You can move, and you're need to find a new job, or your income isn't threatened, you can take it with you. And part of that is building audience, building influence, building followers, building YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, email lists, phone numbers, or whatever it is, relationships. And that also lets you, as the world changes and the old ways don't work, that you can remarket, and you have an existing audience relationship with that you can sell different products to. That's a very valuable thing. Part of it is building new skills. So the skills of what you need are going to change, and have changed, and are continuing to change. Learning web funnels and email marketing and social media marketing. This is all brand new. It seems like old now, but it's only, email marketing is like 20, 25 years old. Social media marketing is like 10, 15 years old. So we're in a lot of new territory now. Get this down like this. We're in new territory, and being flexible. So part of my personal strategy, and something that I preach all the time, so if you're hearing it again, here's one more time, is sobriety. And sobriety, for a lot of reasons, and I'm going to add one new reason today, clarity of thought and being able to make good decisions is incredibly valuable in a time like today, when things are moving so fast and decisions matter so much, and it's going to be deciding who to partner with, where to go, what plans to have, and how to make your money, and so on and so forth. Sobriety is huge. Another thing, though, is part of the victory condition of life, I think, is living a long time and having a good, healthy life. So being healthy and feeling good, sobriety is a huge part in that, to take care of your parts. There's a potential, the difference between winners and losers is becoming more and more exaggerated. We look at the difference between the 1% and the bottom 99 in terms of income, but we may see that in terms of life expectancy. As science progresses, in our lifetime, it may become possible to live a very long time. And not just live a long time, but enjoy a high quality of life, being very healthy. I would personally like that. I don't know about you. So sobriety is going to help me in that regard in two ways. The first way is sobriety is going to help you live longer by having less poison, ingesting less poison in your body. And number two is it's going to help you focus more on what matters, so that you can make more money, because the things that are going to allow you to live a very long time are probably only going to be available to the wealthy. It's not going to be available to anyone else. And you could complain about it, or you could accept that and try to position yourself, not just for you, but for your partner, for your kids, for your descendants, so that you're setting everybody else, you're setting everyone up for a success in the future generations as well. So I hope you find that interesting and useful. Those are some ideas for what I'm doing, how I'm planning to live the rest of my life. And I hope that you can take some of this and take some of the basic principles and run with it. And you don't need to have the same plan or agree on everything, but just consider. I might pick your brain. But just to recap some of the things. Living on the farm, basically on the land, so that you have close proximity to food in terms of disaster protection, and so you get sunshine, you're just healthier and you feel better and you have a more fulfilling life. Building a family for social security, and because it's just a victory condition of life. Sobriety, so that you can have a higher quality of life, live longer, make better decisions. Again, this is just my strategy, but savings in encrypted cyber property, and instead renting of physical property, which allows a lot more flexibility in moving or emigrating if it comes down to that, and also gives you protection from a increasingly invasive government. And then making an online presence and an online impact and an online income. And yeah, those are the basics. So if you found that useful, if you found that helpful, if this video is good, please hit the thumbs up right now, leave a comment, let me know what you found useful, and go share this video. Go share this video with a friend, share it with your partner, share it with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband, your best friend, your brother. Share it with someone so that you can get on the same page, some ideas about, how should we navigate during this time? How can we navigate during the craziness of what might happen here? So I hope you find that really helpful. And as always, those of you who are interested in leveling up and some strategy, like I have a strategy for my life, your life might be very different. You might be stuck in the city, you might already be owning property, you might already have different goals or different dreams, or be operating with different information. If you want help, if you want insight, if you want one-on-one coaching from me, then there's going to be a link in the description, some ideas for how I can look at your life, throw on the analytical lens, motivate you, inspire you, and help you with some one-on-one coaching. I hear the pigs squealing over there. So take action, get at it. It's not the end of the world. It's a good time. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be the end of things as we know it, though, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it is. You might say, I wish that the world was simpler. It's not. It's complicated. I wish I lived in a simpler time. Well, we live in interesting times, and that's just the way it is. So be healthy. Take care of yourself. Eat good. I didn't mention it, but I mean, it's part of living on the farm and outside is raising your own meat. Eating good, being healthy, part of the victory condition of life, and also helps you feel good, helps you make better decisions, helps you live a long time, helps with the family. So let me know what you think. Comment down below. Appreciate you. Much love, and talk to you soon. Peace.